The main message of this story is that love defies societal barriers, but the forces of class, power, and ambition often conspire against it. It highlights the struggle between passion and reality, showing that true love can inspire sacrifice, but may not always overcome the constraints of the world. If you love stories of passion, art, and impossible romance, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. The chipped ceramic mug warmed Leo's hands as he sketched in the pre-dawn gloom. His tiny garret studio, a symphony of peeling paint and the scent of turpentine, was his kingdom. But it was a kingdom ruled by poverty. He was a painter, brilliant according to the few who'd seen his work, but penniless. Then he saw her. Across the crowded, glittering ballroom, she stood framed by cascading orchids. Serafina Beaumont, heiress to the Beaumont shipping empire, and everything Leo wasn't. Her laughter, like wind chimes in a summer breeze, reached him even above the orchestra's swell. He captured her image that night, not on canvas, but etched in the chambers of his heart. He knew it was madness, a moth drawn to a flickering, unattainable flame. Yet, a week later, he found himself delivering a painting, a cityscape imbued with his signature melancholy, to the Beaumont mansion. He hadn't dared hope to see her, but there she was, a vision in silk and grace, her eyes the color of the summer sky after a storm. Their first conversation was brief, stolen moments in the cavernous hallway. Serafina was captivated by his passion, his rough-hewn charm that stood in stark contrast to the polished veneer of the men who courted her. He, in turn, found her surprisingly grounded, intelligent, not the spoiled socialite he'd expected. Their secret meetings began. Whispered words in moonlit gardens, stolen kisses behind dusty bookshelves in forgotten libraries. Every stolen moment was precious, a fragile defiance against the inevitable storm. That storm arrived in the form of Serafina's father, Alistair Beaumont, a man carved from granite and hardened by ambition. He saw Leo as an insect, a pretender threatening his carefully orchestrated plans for Serafina's future. He made it clear, with chilling politeness, that their affair was to end. But their love, built on desperation and fueled by rebellion, only intensified. They planned to elope, a foolish, naive dream fueled by youthful idealism. Leo sold his most prized painting to fund their escape, a sacrifice that tore at his soul but felt necessary. Elopement was a disaster. Betrayed by a supposed friend, bought off by Beaumont, they were caught just as they boarded the train. The scene was brutal. Beaumont's men dragged Leo away, leaving Serafina weeping on the platform. Alistair Beaumont then orchestrated a slanderous campaign against Leo, painting him as a gold-digging opportunist. Galleries refused to display his work. Patrons turned their backs, and Leo was left ostracized and penniless. Serafina was confined to the family estate. Her letters intercepted, her phone calls blocked. She was a gilded bird in a cage, forced into an engagement with Lord Ashworth, a man of wealth and influence. Alistair's choice for his daughter. Leo, driven by despair and fueled by a desperate hope, tried to reach her again and again. He snuck onto the estate, only to be viciously beaten and thrown off the property. He sent her letters, hoping one would slip through the net, but they remained unanswered. Then came the day of the wedding. Leo stood across the street from the cathedral, a ghost in the crowd. He watched as Serafina, a vision in white, was led down the aisle, her face a mask of serene despair. He could see the shimmer of tears beneath her carefully applied makeup. As the priest began the vows, a scream ripped through the silence. Serafina had broken free from her father's grip and was running, pushing through the stunned guests. She reached the doors of the cathedral, her eyes searching the crowd. She saw Leo, their eyes locked, a silent promise passing between them. He began to move towards her, but then fate, cruel and unyielding, intervened. A runaway carriage, its driver unconscious, careened down the street. Leo, seeing the danger, surged forward, pushing Serafina out of the way. He was too late for himself. The impact was sickening. Serafina screamed again, a primal sound of grief and horror. She cradled him in her arms, his blood staining her wedding dress. He looked at her, a faint smile gracing his lips. "I love you," he whispered, his voice fading. Then his eyes closed and the light went out. Serafina Beaumont never married. She lived a life of quiet solitude, haunted by the memory of Leo, the poor artist who had dared to love her and who had ultimately died protecting her. She became a patron of the arts, anonymously funding young artists who, like Leo, dared to dream. She never forgot the tragic beauty of their love, a love that bloomed in defiance of fate, a love that was ultimately doomed, a love that was forever, etched in her heart like a masterpiece painted in blood and tears. Their love hadn't survived, but the echo of it reverberated through her life, a constant reminder of the price of forbidden love and the crushing weight of societal expectations. It was a tragic end, a devastating failure, but a testament to the enduring power of a love that burned so brightly, even if only for a fleeting moment.